You know, I think everybody that has a PlayStation is very into the exclusive games that drop on a PlayStation 4 or, in the future PlayStation 5. You look at the upcoming roster of games, whether it be a God of War Ragnarok, even though we haven't seen gameplay of the game, I'm sure it's going to be really good. People are excited about Horizon. People enjoyed Spider-Man Miles Morales. People dug the Demon's Souls remake, and there's a lot of high-quality titles. However, I think there has been a glaring omission on PlayStation platforms for the last little while, and that has been compelling multiplayer titles that you can really sink your teeth into. And now that remakes are such a big thing, remasters are such a big thing, I don't even think it's necessary for Sony to really make a brand new shooter that people are gonna get really into. I mean, if they want to do that, if they want to make a new SOCOM, I'm all ears. I'll be super into that, but hey, forget about that for a second. Why don't we just get a remaster or a remake of Killzone 2? If Bluepoint's gonna be out here remaking Demon's Souls, I'm sorry, I'm gonna be thinking about all the other games that are due for a remake and all of the games that came out over the last 10 to 15 years that are high quality titles. Because for a long time I had it in my head, oh, you can't remake that game right now, it's still a relatively recent game. Well, now that we're remaking games from 2009 and 2010 with Demon's Souls, and no problem with me, Demon's Souls was a tremendous game. I know there's a lot of other games that people want to see get remasters and remakes, but for me, Killzone 2 is at the top of the priority list. Killzone 2 to me was the last exclusive offering from Sony from a multiplayer standpoint that I got really into. You might be asking me, what about Killzone 3? I enjoyed Killzone 3. There was something about it where I just didn't get into it as much as Killzone 2, and I think the majority of people agree Killzone 2 is the game that they got really into as far as a multiplayer standpoint from Sony, at least in recent memory. SOCOM 4 was not my cup of tea. Starhawk played that a little bit, but Killzone 2 is an iconic game. Maybe for different reasons. I mean, I think a lot of people will draw back to the meme original trailer that Killzone 2, that Sony put out of Killzone 2, which may be the most misleading trailer of all time, but that's not what I harken back to. I harken back to February of 2009, picking this game up. The visuals were still pretty darn good. Maybe they weren't that trailer good from, what was it, E306, but it was pretty darn good visually. And honestly, seeing the game visually today, it still looks really good. You don't even have to do a full-on remake. You could literally take the game, improve a couple things here and there, quality of life improvements, up it to 4K, up it to 60 frames per second. Baby, we're good to go on the PlayStation 5. We don't need a lot. We don't need this groundbreaking new first-person shooter. I really don't think a lot of people are asking for that because honestly, we get a new SOCOM, I'm gonna be excited for it. But there's a part of me that's just gonna be like, man, can we just get Killzone 2 back? Like, I have so much nostalgia for these shooters, and Killzone 2 is one of those games that not only is it gonna resonate with people like me from a nostalgia standpoint, but it's gonna get that level of buzz where if there is a new 18, 19, 20-year-old that never played Killzone 2 because they were like 7 years old when it came out back in '09, well, they're gonna hear the buzz on social media. They're gonna hear the buzz on Reddit, your Twitters of the world, your Facebooks, MySpace will be blowing up with Killzone 2 hype, whatever the case may be. It's just a game that I feel like would appeal strongly because it does have that little bit of iconic appeal. Now, people aren't gonna talk about it in spades right now because it's a game from '09 that has no way to be played right now. Remember that, there's no way you can play Killzone 2 on your PlayStation 5 or your PlayStation 4. This is an inherent problem of the lack of PlayStation 3 backwards compatibility. There are so many excellent games that are being forgotten about, and I can go down the list of the MGS4s and the infamous 1s and 2s of the world, and we can have that conversation on another day, but Killzone 2 just would offer so much to the PlayStation library right now, and yeah, I know that people are really into these single-player games, and more power to you, but if you offer a quality multiplayer experience as well, it would really round out that lineup, and I look at what Microsoft has done with Halo MCC, and yes, it was a train wreck initially, but I enjoy me some Halo MCC on PC, it's a good time. Killzone 2 can offer you something exactly like that, and the groundwork is already there. The fandom for the game is there, and I highly doubt that it would be this massive undertaking for a Guerrilla or another studio to just go in, up-res it, you know, put it to 60 FPS, maybe you can rework the visuals a little bit and make it look prettier, but again, I don't think that's even necessary, and you price that bad boy at $40 or $50 on the PlayStation 4, 60 FPS, 4K, all that good stuff. Tell me that wouldn't sell. Sound off in the comments. Would you buy a Killzone 2 4K 60 FPS edition? My god, we're getting Star Ocean, The Last Hope 4K 60 FPS. Why can't we get a Killzone 2? And remasters and remakes are so in right now that it's a little bit of a head scratcher why a game like this hasn't gotten a remaster or a remake. Obviously, the servers for the OG Killzone 2 are also offline, so that idea of, you know, just adding backwards compatibility, that wouldn't really work from a PlayStation 3 standpoint as well, but we don't even have backwards compatibility, and at the end of the day, Killzone 2, the campaign wasn't that bad either. I spent all my time on the multiplayer. I remember summer of 09, so much nostalgia towards this game, drinking a 2-liter Diet Pepsi and just playing Killzone 2 until 5 or 6 in the morning. It was a great time. And outside of the third-party experiences, the Call of Duties, the Fortnites of the world, what have you, there isn't that multiplayer experience where I'm really sinking my teeth into on PlayStation anymore. Microsoft's always gonna have Halo. Nintendo at least has, like, Splatoon as an offering. What does Sony have from a multiplayer standpoint? And I'm sure somebody's working on it based on the hirings that Guerrilla's done. It seems like they do have a multiplayer title in the works, but hey, Killzone 2 Remake, that is just a slam dunk home run that people are going to get excited about, and I really can't think of a single reason why we aren't making it happen. It just seems like an easy, you know, I don't even want to say a cash grab because, yo, grab my cash for that one. I'm going to be excited for it. But when you're talking about risk versus reward with a Killzone 2 remake or remaster, this just seems like a no-brainer to me. It's almost as much of a no-brainer as the Mass Effect trilogy is, and I don't know why it's taken so long for, you know, the Mass Effect trilogy to come to fruition, and then you have other remasters that are happening, and, you know, a lot of those, you know, unsung remasters that just came out of nowhere. I'm like, okay, that's a cool remaster, but to me, a Killzone 2 is as obvious as hell, and it would do so well commercially. It would give PlayStation that game that we could actually go back into. It's their IP, they own it, and it's synonymous with PlayStation, and I think Killzone 2 did well from a sales standpoint in 09. Part of me thinks it would do even better in 2020 with a remake or a remaster, just because the audience is a little bit different, just because social media is as big as it is, and there are people, nerds like me, that are going to talk about it up and down, whichever way we go if it was announced. So I just think it's a no-brainer, makes all the sense in the world, and it would really revitalize Killzone, because I really do believe Killzone Shadowfall did a bit of damage to Killzone, but you remind people how excellent Killzone 2 was. You release it 4K 60 FPS, whatever, 1440p 60 FPS. I don't know exactly. 60 FPS is a must though. It's gonna do really, really well. People would get excited about a multiplayer offering on PlayStation, which is something that's lacking from a first-party standpoint, at least a really, really good one. Destruction All-Stars is only gonna do you so much. But a Killzone 2 remake, I think that's something that people would actually sink our teeth into. So, just rambling at this point, let me know what you guys think. Is Killzone 2, would that be the answer to the lack of high-quality first-party multiplayer offerings on PlayStation? Do you think we should rather be looking forward than moving backwards, new original games? I don't really think there's an issue with a remaster of a game that's as iconic as Killzone 2 and people enjoyed it as much as they did. Yes, it's forgotten about a little bit now because there's no way to preserve a game like this, but you remake it on the PS5, I think it's gonna do a world of good for Sony and that PlayStation library. And also, I remember when the Killzone 2 and Killzone 3 servers were shut down and then the Killzone website went offline or whatever, and there was an outpouring of, like, disappointment, I think. People were just like, man, you know, it's probably a short break for Killzone. They'll probably come back to it at some point, but I think there's a lot of mileage and a lot of legs to Killzone, even going back to doing a remaster or a remake. So sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. As always, thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.